We here with the group Passed Up. Introduce yourselves to everybody so they know who you are if they don't know who you are already.
What's up? I'm Mexican Mike.
And I'm Tate.
And we're Passed Up.
You.
We're here at Jama Studios in Henderson, Nevada. We're about to interview one of the most talked about upcoming hip hop groups out of Nevada. It's Passed Up. So let's get it in.
What up, man?
What's up, man? So, you know, I done seen you guys on the red carpet, been to your shows and everything, but what I want to do is just give everybody a feel of who Passed Up really is. We want to get inside the minds of Passed Up today. You know what I'm saying? So, what brought you two together?
We're just basically a love for music. At the time, we both wanted to perform. We tried to get into bands. It really didn't work out. Nobody wants to show up to rehearsals, type of thing. And then at that time, hip hop was just massive. We were like, well, can we cuss?
Yeah, you do it.
Can we cuss? So we were just like, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Why cut out the middleman?
Right.
You know, and so we basically keep out a set of turntables, thumbing through records. We started DJing dances to kind of get on, you know, and then it was
microphone in the bathroom, just
did it.
Two kids had no idea what was going on, but we were just gonna try it.
Right.
Or what it meant to actually be an artist.
Right.
We were just like, yeah, we're gonna be rap stars.
So with that, I'm gonna roll into something because you said you know not knowing what it takes to be an artist. Do you find the road that you guys took hard?
Yeah. Because there's we were doing well. We won the Las Vegas Weekly 2010 Best Local Hip Hop, and that was cool. But then we kind of found ourselves going, okay, well, how do we separate ourselves from everybody else? Because that's kind of what everybody's always taught us ever since we started working together. Is you have to set yourself apart. You have to set yourself apart. So we took a couple of years, basically 2 years, to really find our own sound, to separate us from everybody else. And I feel like with this new album, we kind of found that.
Right. Okay, so what was the motivation in this album, this new album that you guys did? You know,
a lot of partying.
Yeah. Las Vegas.
Vegas, you know, because things are changing. EDM's coming up. You know, DJs are bigger than artists now.
Yeah.
You know, in Vegas, they went out and swooped up every big DJ. And put them in the clubs on the strip. So you're hearing dubstep and you're hearing house and all of that. And we started going out to clubs and stuff, and that's what we're kind of getting into
and hearing. And we're kind of just we really liked that club sound, and we wanted to figure out how to mix the two, how to mix hip hop with what we're already doing and that club sound, and do it better than anybody else is doing it.
Well, see, yeah, because I was gonna say now some of your music I've heard. Some intricate pieces of other genres of music being mixed in. So was that done purposely, or do you guys produce your own stuff, or who did your production?
That was done on purpose, because we're not we're music fans, so it's not just hip hop. We like rock. You know, we always said back in the day that we'd be in a rock band before we'd be rappers. It just didn't work out that way. So it's rock, it's, dubstep, EDM, house, all that stuff, and we wanted to do it on purpose, because, you got people that are mixing EDM in now, but it's R&B singers and pop singers and stuff. Hip-hop kind of touches on it, but no one actually just does it.
Yeah, but it's more touch and go. It's that's something different. And what we really wanted to do was, one of our favorite bands is Linkin Park, and a great thing that they did is they fused rap and rock, and they didn't just touch and go with it. They took it, and then they were like, this is going to be our sound, and then they ran with it. And that's kind of what we want to do with this album is take EDM and take hip-hop and mix them together, and then not have it be a touch and go thing, but just run with it.
Yeah. So there were many hours listening to music, listening to beats, and
listening to drops.
Drops, and all of that stuff, and it took a long time to figure out that that's what we were gonna do.
How to do it, and then be able to do it well, because now we can bang a song out in a week.
So is that the direction you guys are gonna go in, where you're gonna have heavy EDM and hip hop together, or are you just gonna try to create your own sound and but bridge it together in a different way.
Yeah, we want to bridge it as much as possible, but at the same time, we really love hip hop, and we really love like club, you know. So we want to build that bridge, but at the same time, like if you listen to the album, I always say the first half of the album is more hip hop than, you know, there are those accents and things like that going on, and then the second half of the album is the more dance club. Yeah. You can hear those tracks
because we didn't know how people were gonna take it. We didn't, you know, because we say that we're hip hop and stuff like that, and then someone looks at us and they're like, "Well, no, you're not." You know, so we wanted.
Do you really know how to rap?
Yeah, we get that a lot too. But we wanted to add elements. So we wanted to have hip hop drums with elements of dubstep, and
those high ends, those
you know, and so this is just kind of like the introduction. This is what we're gonna do, and the next project we're gonna put out, it's gonna just be full on.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of your stuff is layered. Yeah. You know, when I listened to it, and like I said, when I came to the show, and you're like, you guys put on a good show. I'm not even going to front. A lot of people don't put shows on. You guys actually put on a show. You told a story in your show. But your tracks is what caught my attention, because your tracks are layered. And a lot of people don't layer stuff anymore. They do these basic 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. And, you know, there's nothing there. The consistency, you have one song where it's this, then the next song they jump to this, next song they jump to this. But, you know, you guys went back like it was the original style of hip-hop, where you stayed consistent throughout the album. And whatnot. Then in your show, it tells a story exactly like...
Well, a lot of people forget that you're supposed to be telling a story. This is what hip-hop is your story. So why aren't you telling your story? Like, we get the whole money, clothes, chicks thing. Right. We get it. We like it. We rap about it too. Yeah. But there's other stuff besides that. Yeah, you gotta tell your story. That's all it is.
Right. So with that being said, how you're going in a different direction of what everybody else is going in, do you find that harder for you to make your mark, or do you find that people are accepting that you guys are choosing to be different?
It's scary because every time you go on stage, we did the Hookah Palace, and it's trap. That's all that is, man. Trap for 3 hours, and I was like, man, I'm about to get on there and do something that's totally different, you know? And so right before we go on stage, I always get scared, because they say every great artist has been booed off stage once. And so every night I go on stage, I'm like, man, is this the night?
And it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
So we're waiting for that time that we get booed off stage. Yeah. And luckily, it's been okay.
So, but there's always that moment, you know? And then once we get on, and it takes people 30 seconds to kind of figure out what we're doing, and then they're like, okay.
Well, and a lot of times our songs we do too, because like we come out with the masks and the shoes lit up, people think we're gonna start dancing, you know. So like it just depends on what song it is, like what set we're doing. Yeah, because people just don't get it. It just takes a...
But for the most part, everybody loves it. And I think it's because we actually do have that entertainment aspect of it. You know, it's more than just us rapping and grabbing our nuts and walking back and forth and stuff like that. You know, we rehearse. A lot of people don't rehearse anymore. You know, we rehearse our sets. Well, what are we going to do here? What are we doing there? Who's going to be where? You know? So you don't bump into each other, you know? Like those little things that seem like little things until you're up there on stage and you bump into each other and people notice that stuff, right? You know?
So, now looking at you two, I would have never thought that you guys was a group. I was going to be like, right. You look like a rocker. Right. You look like a skater. You know, so with that combination, is it like, do you guys' personalities clash, or you guys just ride down the middle together?
Depends on the day. Yeah, and it depends on what we're doing. We're usually pretty good when it comes to like figuring out like song concepts, and you know, because we've known each other forever, you know, so we know each other's tendencies and all that stuff. When we're working, I usually get a little more fired up than he does, you know, so I'll be the one yelling and cussing, and he'll be like, dude, just chill out. But we balance each other out.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is us being from total kind of like opposites, but meeting somewhere in the middle, is the fact that the things that I don't think of, he thinks of, and the things that he may not be thinking about, I'm thinking about. And we're able to kind of pick up each other's weight. You know what I'm saying?
So not like the hip-hop couple.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Because he's more outgoing, and I just sit back and chill.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm doing a lot of talking now. Usually I don't talk. I just let him.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Yeah, we on the
You're like,
yeah, you know, and a lot of people like say that shit to him. They're like, "Oh, your friend's a dick." It's not that I'm a dick. You know, I ain't got nothing to say. And I don't want to sound like an idiot, so I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, you never sound like an idiot. The only thing that's an idiot is the words not spoken.
Right.
You know, so now you're a father.
Uh-huh.
So with that, how do you balance music and being a father? When you write your lyrics, are you worried about what your child may perceive from your lyrics later on, or do you take that in consideration?
I don't. Maybe I should. Now that you said something. I mean, I would like to think that I'm gonna raise my daughter to like understand what's going on and know that like some of the things that we're talking about isn't how you should live your life, but some people do. You know, and I don't care. I mean, I hope when she does listen to my music that she's older, like teenager. I'll give her that. Anything before like 13, she ain't gonna hear, you know, what we do.
Okay.
That's probably hopefully that ain't gonna happen.
Maybe won't happen. Yeah, modern technology now.
Right.
So, who's in your tape deck right now?
Right now, I'm listening to a lot of J. Cole. I really like J. Cole. I think he's getting slept on. But I feel like J. Cole. I'm listening to Fun. They're a band called Fun.
Yeah.
I like Fun and Robin Thicke. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I've been listening to some Robin Thicke. Oh, and that song Psy and Snoop Dogg. Hangover? Yeah, that beat
like that?
gets stuck in my head, man. It's stuck in my head for like 3 days, ever since we were at the Ainsworth. Because they do the video, the DJ stuff. Yeah.
So who's in your deck?
Linkin Park, the new one right now. Let's see, who else? An indie rock band called Parabel. And that's about it. I don't even know if I got anything in my car. I'm listening to. It's mostly on the computer. It's usually rock. That's what I usually listen to.
Yeah, and I got a mix on Spotify.
Yeah.
The Mexican Mike mix on Spotify. Follow boy. Follow boy.
Okay, so with that, in the music that you guys choose to listen to, is that an influence in your next production that you're gonna do?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every time we listen, and that's what I think is really great about us is the fact that like bands do things way differently than hip hop, and if you pull some things, and you know who I think did that really well is the Beastie Boys. Like their song structures weren't boom 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 boom. You know, they mixed it up and they pulled a lot of things from rock that I want us to pull from those same things. Song structure, bridges, the way you do things. Let's just do a double hook. Let's do, you know, long intro. Let's kind of play with it, and it gives you that ability. Because when you listen to it, you're like, oh man, I never thought about doing that. Or there's this thing that I want to do where I want to do verse, chorus, and then the last verse is the first verse. And you just do it all over again. Same lyrics, same everything. And in rock, it works really well. I don't know how well it's going to do. We'll see it out.
But that's the glory of hip-hop. Is hip-hop, you can put a song together any way that you choose to.
Yeah.
And it will be accepted.
Yeah.
But you have to sell it. If you don't sell it right, then it's not going to sound right. But if you're confident about it when you're performing it, people are gonna, you know, they're gonna vibe to it.
Exactly.
You know, that's just the thing. It's like creating your own style, doing songs the way that you want to do it. That's what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? It's a culture. It's a way of life.
And it's a sound quality, man. We've spent a lot of time, really working on our sound quality. Like if you listen to our music, it's always on point. Like as far as the quality of the music, and we work really, really hard at that because we want to be fans of ourselves at the same time. Like, would I listen to this? You know, would I bump that? And with this new album, I feel like every track on this album, I'm like, because sometimes you write a song and you'll be like, oh, I should have said this, or maybe the intro's too long, or you know, there's things that you want to go back and change, but unfortunately, time, you know, doesn't allow you to do that. But with us taking so much time off, that we've had the time to really sit back and go, okay, let's get this right. You know, so we need to do that.
With your production, who does the production?
I do.
You do all the production?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool because your album don't sound melodic. It doesn't sound like the same producer, so I give you props.
Well, and it's funny because there's two producers, on that project. It's me and then another guy that I spent hours trying to find. You know, because like you got what is it, like sound click? What is it? Where everyone buys yeah. There's so many places to buy beats now, but like you gotta find that guy that fits what you want to do. Right. And I just ran across this dude when we started recording that. And, like he's probably the best producer I've heard in a long time.
So 3 producers you don't want to work with.
Oh man. Well, let's see. Dre, Timbaland. I'm gonna say Eminem. He counts. He made a beat once. Which is cool. But I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah. 3 artists you guys want to work with.
I want to work with Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. I want to work with Pharrell just because I think that fool is dope.
Right.
And Star Trek needs to come back. Needs to make a comeback. For real though. Right? And then I probably want to work with. I really want to work with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that dude's on his hustle, man. I mean, he was down, he was out, nobody wants to listen to him anymore, and he's making a comeback, you know?
And too much damn money.
Yeah.
No one cares.
And it doesn't really, and that's the thing, like, I always wonder, like, do you ever hit that point where, alright, you have enough money, you just kind of just give it up? Like, you're Brett Favre now, you know what I'm saying? You're in the game, but you really need to be in the game, you know?
With that right there, tell us something about past stuff that your fans don't know.
I have asthma. Yeah, I rap hella quick and I have asthma.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't know that? That's your partner. You know that?
I seen him with the inhaler. I thought he was faking it. You know.
So tell us something.
Man, a secret that no one knows.
Yeah, your fans don't know. We want your fans to know you.
Do I have a secret that no one knows?
He's actually a nice guy. He just looks like an asshole.
Right?
He has a daughter. Nobody's actually ever said that.
Well, see, I didn't want to say daughter. That's why I said child.
Yeah, I got a daughter. She's awesome. She looks just like me. I know what I look like black now, which is always been like a thing of mine.
This is wait. The man just said that to the thing of it is he wanted to know what he looked like black.
Yeah.
So he looked at his daughter. So he said, "No, I'll have sex with a black chick. You're pregnant. Yeah, that's what I look like."
That was the plan. That was the plan.
That was that really was the plan.
No, that wasn't the plan. Like,
oh, yes, it was. But your daughter's a little cutie now. No homo, you're not cute, but your daughter's cute.
Oh, I know, right? Like
you know, make sure it's saying no homo. Make sure that's in there. No homo.
No, I have no idea how she looks like me, and she's adorable.
She looked like probably like a little bit of a mama, and you mixed together.
Yeah, she took all the best parts, both parties, and ran with it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, if I threw you guys on the East Coast right now, who you think you would want to battle?
Battle.
Yeah.
Diddy. He said, I hate Diddy. He's so bad.
He said,
he's so bad. And I just want to, like, I respect
the man
him.
told you I don't write rhymes.
I know. I get it, but he's just like, just stop rapping. Like, you don't need to.
And it was funny because 50 said something about that. He was like, Diddy's he's like a campfire dude. He just needs to stand next to something and stay hot, you know? And that's for real though. He's always standing next to something that's hot. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know, man. I just feel like when you're Diddy, you should just be Diddy, that executive producer. Just be in the background. Do what Dre does. I think Dre does the best. He's in everything, and if you know it, if you really know your music, he's got his finger in a lot of stuff, but you wouldn't know unless you knew, you know?
But isn't that what makes Diddy different? That's what makes him successful also.
Yeah,
but the way Dre does it,
yeah, that could be an East Coast thing.
You know, he does it the same way. You know, he does his own thing and still has his hands in everything, just like Timberland. You know, they all have their hands in a lot of stuff, but that's Diddy. Diddy is Diddy. Dre is Dre. Timberland, but that's what he's known for.
Yeah, right. I gotta give Timberland props because I like the fact that he's keeping himself relevant all the time. Like he's doing it his way. Like he's just he's like a music head, you know.
Well, I tell you guys answer the question. Who would you want to battle? So okay, you said J. Cole was getting slept on. Would you battle J. Cole?
Nah, man, his metaphors are it's crazy.
So you don't have confidence in yourself?
No, not that. It's just it's like is that you don't want your idols to become rivals, you know?
Why not? You supposed to murk him on his own shit. I mean, like Drake murked Weezy. Drake basically made that song himself. Weezy really didn't do shit on his own album. You know what I'm saying? So you look at it, that's what you're supposed to do. Every time you get on the mic, you're supposed to murk whoever on the song with you.
Yeah. And in a competitive aspect, I would take on whoever. Because at the same time, like, I am confident in my skills and my abilities to entertain people. But I don't know if I would ever call anybody out because I'm just not like that. But
who would you challenge? Put you on East Coast.
I don't know, man. I hate battle rapping. Like, I think, like, nowadays, I think it's pointless. I really do. Because I'm better than he is, he's better than I am, I'm better than you. Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how much you sell. That's really the only thing, because, like, they always talk about the top 5 rappers, and it's, like, some off-the-wall shit. Just go off of who sold the most.
Well, I mean, when they pick the top 5 rappers, don't you think they go off of metaphors, album creation, song style, different things like that? I mean, because if you go off of album sales, then they'll always be the same people regardless, because they have a machine. Their machine is better than somebody else's machine, so that's not really relevant a way to say who's a better rapper because of that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you take Drake. Drake doesn't use the Cash Money machine for his promotion.
Right.
He has his own machine, and he has, you know what I'm saying? So Drake can be murked by a whole bunch of people, but he sells more albums than a lot of people because of the way his machine moves. Now, if you take Nicki Minaj, her machine is different. She got a bigger machine than Drake. But Drake made more money. But Nicki makes money other ways.
Right.
Yeah. That brings her up to being more than Drake. You see what I'm saying? So her machine pushes in a different aspect. So can you put, not saying, I'm not putting them against each other, but can you put Drake and Nicki in the same pool? If you want to say they the hottest rappers because of sales. You know what I'm saying? Then when you flip it down to maybe we take somebody that ain't nobody ever heard of, but they moving units down in Texas, like if we take Big Chief. Big Chief, y'all probably never heard of him, but he's selling just like Drake, only working in 6 states.
Right.
So how can you say that he not the hottest rapper versus this one when they making the same amount of money selling?
Yeah, and the best rapper is based on an opinion. It's on somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
Like I like his flow, I like his style, I like this.
Well, see, that's what all this
is all BS anyway. Because you got a different opinion than I do. He's got a different one, and everyone else in this room.
But that's what makes the cultures of that art form so beautiful is the opinions. That's what brings it together. It's just like how you guys are stepping out into the realm of hip hop, but you're doing it your way.
Yeah.
Like the Beastie Boys, iconic, they did it their way.
Yeah.
Linkin Park, they crossed the realm and could bounce from side to side. They could bounce in hip hop and win an award. They could stay in rock and win an award. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing it their way.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes the music itself beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So it's never, if everybody was the same, then we won't have all these different artists.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it that way,
there'd be no comments on World Star.
Besides the fights.
Right?
So there it is. So I got one more question. What chick would you smash in the industry right now?
Really?
What chick would I smash in the industry right now?
Just one?
Just one. You only get one.
I probably hit Iggy.
Iggy?
Yeah.
Iggy?
I can't help it.
Hey, who would you hit?
Oh man, just one?
You can only get one. Just one.
Well, if it's just one, then it has to be Rihanna.
Yeah.
Just to say that I smashed Rihanna, like, I mean, I know it's probably like an open door, but like, You know, and brag about that shit on Facebook.
Thank God for a wonderful interview, because that shit was crazy. We keep it real here at BBC All Access. We get gutted sometimes, and sometimes we stay on point. Today we was all over the place, but again, this is an exclusive, and that's what you get when you get exclusive. So let everybody know where they can find Passed Up and how to get a hold of you guys if they want to work with you, get your product, get your album, see what you guys are all about.
The best place is www.passedup.com, and then Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Am I missing one? SoundCloud. Everything is .com/passedup.
Just hit us up. Easy as possible. No.
Buy that thing right there.
Yeah.
This thing right here?
Yeah, buy that one.
That thing right there?
Yeah.
This thing right here?
Yeah, that's our new album.
This thing right here?
That's it.
The album is titled I.V.S.S.W.D.
I.V.S.S.W.D.
Yeah.